Okay, what's up guys? We're gonna dive right into this. My whiteboard trainings, as you guys know, are straight to the business and sweet, we're live. Okay, so let me get out. We're at the whiteboard of truth and justice, and I'm gonna show you today the 3 business models that you can choose from to make money online. And is this pretty easy to see? We're still kind of far away. I'm gonna move you closer. Let's see if we can still see this really well. So I'm going to go into all 3 of them. I'm going to show you why you want each business model, and I'm going to show you why. And if you can master each business model, you're going to create something called a value ladder. Okay? And value ladders are going to be for a different video. I can actually still scoop this up a little bit more. And I'll make value ladders a different video, but you're going to want to know what that is because it will make sure that you can generate as much money as humanly possible from all of your customers coming in. I don't care what type of business you're in. Okay? If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, like the video to help us expand the reach. But it doesn't matter what business you're in, a value ladder is essential to business, and these 3 business models are essential to business. If you do not have these 3 business models, you are literally throwing money away. Okay? Whoop, this is making me log in for some reason. So you're literally throwing money away, and even if you have a good revenue stream now, you're actually losing money. So this is something that I'm spending next month focusing on, which I'll dive into how I'm going to make $100,000 next month. I'm actually going to break it down for you guys and everything. But what you're going to notice is I'm going to be spending next month not necessarily focused on launching, but more so focusing on stopping the bleeding. Because right now I do have a lot of money bleeding from my business, even though I'm scaling aggressively. So let me go ahead, and this is kind of like uneven a little bit. It's okay, I'm not going to worry about it. So the first one is going to be DIY. Okay? So DIY is do it yourself. So this is do it yourself. And I'm going to talk about pricing today, guys, with this and how you should price your services. But it's actually pretty funny because I've always been familiar with these 3 business models, but I was more so brought to light how to price your services properly when I was at JR's conference in Atlanta. And if you guys don't follow JR Rivas, the guy's super, super intelligent, especially in business, and I think he had like 50 employees or something like that by 21 years old. So the guy just understands business. But anyway, you can go follow him later. Right now you need to like my video that we're doing all live so it can expand the reach on Facebook and hack the algorithm a little bit. So the first one is do it yourself. So what does this mean? Now the do it yourself model is, here's a great example that everyone's familiar with, Home Depot. Thanks Nick, appreciate it. Hey guys, Rob Quinn, your thug living. Thanks so much for these videos, no problem, bro. And anyway, the do-it-yourself model, Home Depot has this figured out. And if you guys don't know what Home Depot is, then the fuck, guys. Are you living under a rock or something? You can hear me, right? Hashtag live if you're on right now because it's going to help expand the reach. So the do-it-yourself model is like when you go into Home Depot and you buy the wood, you buy the tools and everything, you go in to do it yourself. Well, what happens next? Okay, well, what happens next is that they're making money and margins off of what you're buying, and of course you have to buy congruent products, which would be an e-commerce based model where you can go in there, and I'm not going to dive into doing e-commerce right now, it's a different ballgame, but basically congruent products are something like if you buy a hammer, you need nails. If you buy a hammer, you maybe want gloves for the hammers. If you buy that, you might want a little tassel or fanny pack, or I don't know what you carry, a hammer and tool belt. Wow, you guys can tell how much I do construction. And labor. So anyway, those are called congruent products. Now, when it comes to do-it-yourself, Home Depot is making margins. They're building up their margins based on the congruent products they sell. So they're making money right there. But the next thing that you're going to want to do is the second business model is called, man, what is happening right now? Can you, so done with you. You can see that, right? Done with you. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can see that. I don't know why I didn't write the acronym. Kind of want to. Yeah, I'm going to. So let me go ahead and write the acronym first so you guys can get used to seeing them because you will see them more in business. This is done with you, DWY. And that's done with you. Now, here's what I like about this done with you model is you can charge more. This isn't necessarily, I would use a Home Depot example for this one. I'm going to use a Home Depot example for the last one because these two will connect. This one not so much. So this one's going to be more of like your coaching programs, your mentorships, things like that. DWI and DFY for the win. Oh, you gave it up, Brett. You gave it up, man. We're going to dive into that in a second, guys. Like the video. I know we have like a dozen or so people on here right now, so like the video so Facebook can expand the reach. This is really important to know. So the 3 business models, your DIY, which is do it yourself, which is going to be your courses, which will be your front-end e-commerce products, things like that. Those are really great because there's really no time involved. Okay, there's really no time involved whatsoever in order to dish this out. So you can do this really in scale. Really, and scaling means like volume and really high amounts. So I'm giving an example like a Facebook course. So I sell a Facebook course. A lot of people don't know that because I sell it on the back end of a free course. But that one's already done, so people can learn from that product. It's a pretty inexpensive product. The barrier of entry is low, the value's high, and trust's already there. So people can, I do a few $1,000s a month on this right here. Okay. And I guess agency in a box would technically be, agency in a box is more of a, you guys are familiar, I have a product called Agency in a Box. That's going to be a totally different ballgame because that's like, it's not anything that people are used to seeing. It's like a program, it's a combination almost of all 3 of these in a sense. But anyway, we'll get into that. So the Done With You is going to be more of your coaching program where people are going in, you're teaching people how to do something, you're helping them with something. So this you can charge more, right? So you don't have to charge as much for this because you don't have to do anything. Okay, I'm going to get into pricing here in a minute so you know how to price your products if you're in business. I wish I had something to teach people. Sam, you will. That's why you need to get into my Fortune Accelerator so I can teach you how to do all that stuff. But the DWY, this is going to be the Done With You. So you can charge more because you're doing it with them, okay? But you're not actually doing anything. Okay, so they're doing the work, you're teaching them how to do the work. So let's go into the last business model, which Brett gave away. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, these start as Facebook Live. So if you want to see these things live, then go like me on Facebook and go into my Facebook group. So we're going to go over here to Done DFY. This is where the big money's at, guys. This is done for you. Okay, so done for you, and the reason why this is priced so high in the sense of what this or this would be, definitely more than this, is because it's done for you means that the customer or the person's completely hands off. You do nothing. How does that sound, okay? And the reason why you're able to price this so much higher is because you're doing everything for that person. So this way they get the convenience of A, not having to do anything, but also B, not having to learn anything, and just being able to put the trust in you. So the done for you version is really going to be where you make your larger chunk of money to grow faster. This would be like your agency model stuff. This would be like back to the Home Depot example with the DIY where you buy all the tools and stuff. Well, you F that up. And then what happens is you go back to Home Depot and you're like, hey, turns out I suck at building things because I actually don't know how. So then over here, you ask Home Depot if you could hire somebody. Well, guess what? They're going to charge you high dollar because you don't want to mess up again. So it's like the perfect time for Home Depot to maximize. So now they've already made money because you bought one product, then you bought congruent products, nails, tool belt, gloves, and now you still effed up, so you come over here and you're buying more from them. This is done for you. So this is where they make the majority of their money because they contract out and they're able to charge like 3 to 5 times more than they pay the contractor. So this way they're able to make most of their margins here and doing completely nothing, and then you pay more because you also do completely nothing. So here are your business models, guys. Let me look at the comments here, see if you guys put anything in the comments. Why you gotta do this live video when I can't watch it? Oh, Lane, why can't you watch it? You're gonna have to save it later and rewatch it. So drop some questions in here, guys, if you have any. I'm gonna talk about pricing next and how you can price these models to be realistic and know exactly where your margins can be. Let me know. Guys, go in here and like the video too, by the way. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and sub to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Because this will end up being on YouTube if you're not watching the live on Facebook. So right here, guys, this is how you're gonna set up your models. Now here's why you want all 3. The DIY, which if you're on my YouTube, you're on my Facebook, you're in my Facebook group, you're on my Instagram, whatever. The reason why this is a big deal, because this is totally passive, right? So after I create the product, I'm able to put that on the internet, and as long as it's generating results, which my products do, you're able to go over here and people can go to an order page and purchase something. So we already went into a previous video about this earlier in the week, where basically you can create different product tiers, which would be your lead magnets, your tripwires, your middle core offer products, then you have your high ticket products, which require a little bit more attention. I'm not going to get into that right now. But in the terms of the do-it-yourself products, this is going to be more of your like tripwire to mid-ticket. So when it comes to pricing, I'll go ahead and actually use a different color so it's easier to differentiate. So this will be your tripwires, which are going to be anything from $17, which I'm trying to stray away from. I'm not going to get into why right now. Do it later. $17 to your more like your $6.97. Okay. These are going to be the do-it-yourself, and actually that's wrong because that should be $9.97. I kind of consider $9.97 to nowadays be more of the middle price. But this is the absolute high end for the DIY. And anytime you buy a course or you purchase something, you're probably already going to notice that. Hashtag live, guys, if you're watching right now, and like the video if you can to help us expand the reach. But with the DIY, you can leave this up here for $17 to $997. I'm not going to distinguish the difference in the core offer products or why it's such a wide gap. If you guys don't know what that is, you need a mentor if you don't understand the difference in core products right now, because that's not what this video is for. So we've already went into a little bit of that in another video. So this is where people can just go to an order page. As long as they trust you, they're going to buy it. That's how it works. Okay, you don't have to do anything here. They're going to buy it. They learn it themselves, and it's literally completely hands-off. If you have a customer service team on hand, or you hire a virtual assistant at like $3 or $4 an hour, which is pretty typical because they're overseas, then basically they can answer all the questions, and you just do like FAQ sheets, give that to your assistant, and then your assistant is already prepared to answer questions that get asked. So this can be a totally hands-off thing. What's up, Saba? What's up, Glenn? Jordan? Yeah, that's right. That's right, Jordan. AIB is the A1. It's the sauce. Agency in a box, if you guys don't know the acronym yet. So let's talk about DWY. So this is a done for you. So this is going to be more of your coaching stuff. So the done with you, yeah, I think I already said that right. So the done with you is going to be priced more around your $29.97 to your $25,000, okay? So this is going to be more of your $3,000 to $25,000 products. And here's the reason why. So anytime this is priced appropriately to where you should generate 10x, okay? So let's say that somebody were to hop into my Fortune Accelerator program, which is $5,000. Let me give you an example. So $5,000, it's a 90-day program right now. It'll end up being a 6-week program here in the next 3 months. But right now, it's a 90-day program. And basically, everyone that's getting in at $5,000 will end up making $50,000 over the span of 12 months at a minimum. Okay, that's how we're able to price that. So people here, $997, within a span of only 30 to 90 days, or actually 90 days, excuse me, people are able to make $10,000 in a month with Agency in a Box. That's why I'm actually increasing it to $10,000 because we've had people hit that number now. So it's valued at $997 because you can generate at least tenfold. Okay, same thing here. If I'm charging someone $5,000, then they should be able to generate tenfold. That's why I do it. Okay. Over here, we're going to get to the done for you. So if you're wondering like how much you should price your products, well, if you're creating a program and the majority of people in your program are seeing a $100,000 return over the span of 12 months, then you clearly, without question, should be selling that thing for $10,000. Here's another example. So if you're in college, a lot of people go to college, they spend $40,000, and write in the comments if you agree or you don't agree with this, because the truth is it's a fact, so you shouldn't disagree. But people go to college, they spend like $40,000, usually at a minimum, okay? From what I understand. I dropped out, so I don't know. But after like 2 weeks, it wasn't for me. So they spend like $40,000, and from what I understand, people go to college, they invest $40,000. From what I understand, their teachers and the school itself doesn't actually give you a job right out of college. You have to go find that yourself. And then also, you only make somewhere between like $24,000 to $60,000 a year with that $40,000 investment, which is kind of silly, I think. But but when it comes to college, the way that we as marketers hold ourselves to the expectation, if I were speaking to that college, here's what I would say. I would come over and say, well, based on the expectation of marketers and what we charge, we expect a 10x return based on what we sell and what we buy. So my question to you, Mr. College or Mrs. College, is this. If you were to come in here and I'm going to give you $40,000, I should be able to make that back, because college is 4 years, so we'll actually call this a 4-year return. If I'm going to spend $40,000 with you, I should make back $400,000 in 4 years, yes or no? If you tell me no, then it's a scam, okay? That's 100% fact without question. And the reason why is because digital marketers, or coaches in general, you don't just have to be in digital marketing, Coaches in general, when we charge someone for the done with you, which is what college is, if we charge someone for the done with you model, we expect to help that person generate at least tenfold back, okay? So for people spending $5,000 with me in the Fortune Accelerator mentorship that I have, which is, I only have a couple spots left that people already booked. I might actually have those filled by the end of the weekend, so it won't be open anymore. But the $5,000 people invest with me with the done with you for my Fortune Accelerator mentorship, which if you're on YouTube, I'll have a link under this video so you can pre-enroll for the one in January. They will make back tenfold, so $50,000 over 12 months, okay? And then everything after that is just more money being made, okay, from the material that I give them. So can you see how that works? So that's why I think college is a huge scam, because they aren't willing to say, yeah, you should make $400,000 in 4 years, when I'm sitting here saying every single experienced marketer, I just lost my marker, that's awkward. Every single experienced marketer is going to tell you that you should make this back at least tenfold, and that's the expectation. So anyway, that's the done with you model. Sorry, I got kind of passionate about the college thing. Not saying it's a waste. I think it's great to go to college. I think it's a great experience. I just think it's a waste of money. So let me just make sure I'm clear with that. So let's dive into the done for you version. So in the terms of the done for you, this is why things can be priced so much higher. So the done for you model, I'm going to do this in the sense of contracts, okay? So we'll charge like $10,000, okay? Usually to $100,000. Now, where are those numbers coming from? Those are typical contracts. So if I were to go in and work with a business and they were to be like, sign a contract with me, right? Well, minimum contract that we typically sign within my agency for businesses is $3,000 a month. We'll do a minimum of a 3-month contract, which is $9,000 plus a build-out fee. So that'll be, I'll just say $10,000 on a low to round down. And then if they were to do a 12-month contract, okay, and this is the max I've ever signed on a contract was $108,000, and that was with a recruiting company. So that's why I'm only pricing it there, because I've actually never sold a contract higher than $108,000. That was actually only for 6 months, so I've actually never signed a 12-month for that high. But anyway, so the done for you, the reason why this is priced that high is because we do everything for them, okay? You don't have to do anything. That's why it's so powerful. This is where big business is built. And, actually a lot of people said, like, Rob, are you doing more of the info product side? And I was for a while, but I thought to myself, why can't I do both? So then I went ahead and brought on a really hungry sales associate, helped him close some deals. We've already increased our bottom line by another $11,000 a month in the span of like a couple weeks. So that's how powerful the DFY is for you, the done for you, because you don't need a whole lot of clients in order to build a big business. Does that make sense? So these are the 3 business models, and I'm actually glad I wrote this in red, because this is what everyone should have something like this in their business, okay? And my advice for this right here, and the reason why I'm saying that Agency in a Box is an anomaly, because we actually do everything for you, but we're only charging $700 right now for that. So it's an anomaly because it should be priced a lot higher. And I'm actually going against all my best practices that I teach and only selling it for the amount that it's sold for. But the done for you version should be in every business model, and should outsource everything because it takes too much work. That's the only downfall, is the done for you version. And the reason why you get paid so much is because it requires more work, okay? Most of the time I think my car was better investment than my education. That's funny. Yeah, Nicole, that's the truth. That's the hard truth. I wish more people would actually understand that. What kind of agency are you training people to start up? Sam, I train people to start up a digital marketing agency. Either that, or I teach them, if they've already done that, to be able to start up a coaching business and create courses and do the info product side. And the reason why I am getting to become the go-to for that, and I am basically an authority to be able to teach that, is because I already generated nearly $80,000 in course sales since March, and I've also already generated almost $70,000-$80,000 this year in sales for my agency. So I've already done both, and they're both easy to do. We're ramping up. We're going to do like $60,000 this month and $100,000 next month. But anyway, so this takes more work, so you should have a team. I highly suggest, if you're going to do this, which everyone should have this, is to make sure you outsource or make sure you hire a team in-house and have this as part of your business. I highly suggest to have this. I don't care if you're a chiropractor, a dentist, a digital marketer. I don't care if you groom dogs for a living. You need to have this, okay? Because this is 100% margin, where this is not. and this is passive, which this is not, sort of. So that's why it's so important, right? To make sure you have this too, because like my YouTube links, if you guys go under here, or my Facebook group, or yeah, any of those, you're gonna find links, and it's eventually going to funnel you into my products, which the majority of people buy. Rob, just quick, when are you adding people to the private group? Sorry, Jordan, I'm gonna do that right after this video, man. I'm sorry, I've been running around all day. I'm gonna get it done today. Yeah, I'll get that done today, right after this video, actually. I have to cross-reference everyone that bought, because a lot of people try to sneak in there, so. Done with you. If I were to tell you and give you advice, my opinion, on which one not to do, okay, it would be this. And the reason why is because unless you're scaling it up, and you have other coaches do the coaching, then that's a different model. But if you're actually trying to do it yourself, this requires a lot more work and a lot more attention until you actually have the process down. And I think it's an amazing program. I think people can make a lot more doing this because it's basically like your college education. No problem, Jordan. Sorry about that, man. But anyway, yeah, I think it's like your college education, but it does require more work as a coach. So my advice is that this should be the last thing that you do, and these should be the first things that you master, because this you can have a team around and it's semi-passive. This you can spend time building out the programs and it becomes passive. And then once you hire virtual assistants to deal with the questions, then you won't have to deal with the customer service either. So these are the two things you should nail down first. When you have those nailed down, then try to figure out the coaching. Unless you don't want to do this at all, which I would suggest you do because the margins are higher, you can do this, because this is going to put a roof on you. Coaching will put a roof on you, and you will not be able to continue to grow. And unless you, again, are able to outsource it and hire coaches to teach the trainings, which is a totally advanced model of this, which I'm not going to get into right now, primarily because I am not doing that. My coaching program, I'm actually coaching people myself, and I have not scaled it to the point where I'm hiring coaches. I don't know if I'm going to get to that point, or if I want to get to that point. These are the two things that are my primary responsibility in my mind right now. But anyway, guys, these are the three business models that you can have, and this is like pricing wise. I just want to let you guys know, people price higher than $100,000. People are probably watching this video right now and they're like, Rob, dude, I charge people a few $100,000 to do campaigns, which a lot of people do. I know Russell charged, like back when he was doing funnels, Russell Brunson, he owns a ClickFunnels software. It's a landing page software. I know he was charging people like $250,000 to build their stuff out, and then a percentage of sales, just to give you an idea for the done for you version. But anyway, guys, these are pricing suggestions. I know people here for the coaching actually charge $100,000 too. I've seen that. But yeah, so here's some examples of what to charge. These are the examples of 3 business types, and then what each one of those things are. So remember, if you're going into digital marketing, these are courses, this is coaching, this is an actual agency, just so you can know the differences. I think Russell charged $100,000 for them to come out and talk to him. Yeah, he does that now. Actually, he turns people down for that stuff now, from what I heard. Don't know the guy personally, and I don't know his inner circle, so I don't know for sure. But anyway, guys, like the video if you're watching this. Share the video if it's helpful. And if you're on my YouTube, subscribe to the channel. But these are the 3 business models. I hope this is helpful. And I'm glad you guys joined me for the whiteboard of truth and justice to go over stuff about business and business things. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.